Subscribe to Nick's Nerd Cave.
Welcome to the cave, Nick Nerd Cave, bringing you guys one of these videos. I know everyone's been doing these, and I always wanted to do them for the longest time too. I mean, they're starting to get a little unpopular now, but I don't care because I actually love these kinds of videos only because you get to talk stuff you love and kind of place the things you love on different tiers. And you know, we have this for Digimon, and Digimon is second to none for Dragon Ball. For me, in terms of my favorite anime of all time, it offers me story, it offers me characters, it offers me action, it's cool, it has the transformation scenes, it has the toys, it has everything I want in a show. And not all of it's good. I would actually go so far to say is most of Digimon is not that great. Actually, we'll talk about that. But I'm going to put it in tiers first, and then as we go, we'll talk about it and kind of place things in between. So, I'm just gonna, boom, right there. Right at the top. And I don't think anything's gonna be sitting next to it. Boom. Boom. In fact, if we could create another tier, I would probably put Savers in the bottom. But I think 5 is the good ones. Alright, that was easy. The point of the video is discussing why. And let's start with Tamers. Tamers was the peak of Digimon. I fully think that Tamers is the best Digimon season of all time. And I don't think that's subjective. I think that is objective in my opinion. But I think it truly is the best Digimon season. Like, all the other seasons have problems. Tamers' problems are nitpicks at best. And a part of me wants a sequel, but another part of me does not, because it would ruin Tamers. Story is great. The characters are the best in probably any anime I have ever watched, and I will say that confidently. I love the characters in Tamers. They're some of my favorite characters in the entirety of media in general. You have Takato, Rika. I'm using American terms, by the way, because I love the dub. Actually, that's another thing. The dub was I would argue, the only good Digimon dub. I love 01 and 02's dub, but at the same time, they're bad. But I still love them because I watched it when I was a kid. Also, I want to say that there's no biases here, because I watched Digimon when I was little, but I didn't remember anything about it until I saw 02 when I was like 11 or 12, and that's when I became a lifelong Digimon fan. And the thing was, like, the only season I would kind of have a bias for is 02, but that's why it's the place where it is. But I'll talk about 02 when we get to it. But Tamers, the story, it has a beginning, middle, and end, which none of these shows have. None of them. Like, you can't tell me that Fusion has a middle. It barely even has an end, honestly. Okay, we'll get to that. But I can't say anything more, but if you haven't watched Tamers yet and only watched the original, watch Tamers. Like, it will ruin the other seasons for you for life. Like, having, like, less than 5 characters really helped it out. It made the Digimon their own characters and not just traits. It made the characters feel real. Takato feels like a person I could know, I could walk up and talk to. Same thing with Rika and Henry. With the other characters, I feel like they're cartoon characters. They're fictional, but they felt real. I could relate to them. I could relate to all of those characters in some way. And Tamers holds a very special place in my heart. And honestly, objective-wise, I think it's better than my favorite anime of all time, which is Dragon Ball Z. And moving to B, Adventure in 02, and I know some people would put it in A, but I put it in B because I do think Adventure has problems, like, well, not so much story well, I think it kind of drags towards the end, but, I'm kind of torn because while I do love Adventure 01, I'm not as big of a fan as the adventurous, magical, mystic world type of thing. And it's the reason why I love Tamers, because it's realism. It's something I forgot to say, actually. It takes place in the real world. It's what if Digimon was real? If it was real, that's what it would be. That's actually kind of almost possible. Think about it, 20 so years that people can actually make real Digimon or, you know, digital monsters and have it take over Earth and have a virus that it's so good, so good. But with Adventure, the problem with Adventure, it feels not real. I mean, it's a show, but I think that's why Digimon was so good to begin with, is because it felt real. The characters were relatable. Like, they had dynamics with each other, which I think is a plus for Adventure 01. The characters have a phenomenal, like, character interaction. Like, every character goes against the other's, like, characters' personalities, but it helps them, especially with the Digimon. Like, for example, Joe and, wow, no, not Gilmon, wow, you know, the moment I record, I forget his name. Gomamon and Joe, they're so different, but that's what makes it special. Tai and Agumon, they definitely have a similar thing, but TK and Patamon, like, you feel the bond that goes throughout the season. The bond grows, and that's the thing I prefer Digimon over Pokemon. There's progression. You see characters getting along. They have a point A and point B. Like, the beginning and final episodes are different. They're not the same characters. They go through stuff. They change. That's why Digimon, as I said, feels real. But Adventure feels a little less real because of the whole adventurous, mystical adventure type of thing. Which, that's okay. You can have realistic stories in a mystical world. It's just that I prefer Tamers because it does more for me. Because it's more realistic. I mean, in the end of the day, digital monsters fighting, it's not real, but it feels real. It feels like Digimon could exist in real life, which Adventure, it does not feel that way for me. In 02, I'll admit this is the only season I have a bias towards. I grew up on Adventure 1, 2, and Frontier. I did not grow up on Tamers. Oh, a little bit about Data Squad, but you know, it's on the bottom of the list for a reason. But I can't say much about Digimon 02 other than I like how it continued the story. I loved how it added more characters as successors to the 01 kids. I thought that was really solid. I like how it had TK and Kari in there too, because it added to their story, because they're too young in Adventure to really have character development. That felt weird, but I think it's true. But in Adventure, Adventure 02, Kari feels a little bit wasted, and the 02 kids do feel like they're just kind of there sometimes, and they're not as important as the story makes out to be, which they are, because, you know, they have the strongest Digimon. It's how they, you know, they do the Jograss thing, and they're the successors to the 01 kids. But Davis and Ken definitely feel important. They feel like they can fit in right with the Adventure group, which Try does not do. But everything else, I think the season is okay. I might move it to C, but for right now it's in B because I think it did a good job continuing Adventure story. Not to mention the beginning of the video, yes, that was the voice actor for Vmon saying subscribe to Nick's Nerd Cave. I feel kind of bad because that's the only question I asked him, but I thought it would be perfect for my Digimon videos. At the beginning of the video, subscribe to Nick's Nerd Cave. I almost, because was always my favorite Digimon when I was little. Is he my favorite Digimon now? No, but he was always my favorite Digimon when I was little. And I really loved Vmon. I love his evolutions. I kind of wish they got ultimates, but hopefully in the last evolution, maybe. But I loved Vmon. I thought he was funny. I loved his personality. Like, I loved Davis and his, like, character interaction. I thought it was really fun. So yeah, that's 02. I think it's just okay looking at it from a objective standpoint, but for my bias, it's in B. C, Frontier. I have completely normal feelings towards Frontier. You know what's weird? Because before I knew Frontier was actually a hated season, I thought it was a fan favorite. I was like, what, Frontier? I thought that was the best one. And I got a lot of weird looks that day. But when I actually watched Frontier, you know, again, I haven't seen it since I was a kid, it has a lot of issues. But I still think it gets C because there's still something there. There's something I can grasp onto, which is not the same for the three on the bottom. Let's just say that. There's something there. There's something I can grab onto. The characters that were there were okay. Takuya, typical leader. honestly want to say. There's nothing really special about him, but I did think his design is really cool. That's all I can say. Actually, the two favorite characters, Zoe and JP. JP is a really good character. I think he's one of the most underrated Digimon characters in general. I love his evolutions. And here, actually the big thing, the elephant in the room, there's no partner Digimon in Frontier, but they transform into Digimon, which is kind of like Super Sentai Kamen Rider type of thing, where they're the heroes, which I don't mind. I know a lot of people care about it, and it's actually what makes the character so good in Digimon. The Digimon help them become who they are. But the thing is, I feel the character dynamic could be just that, if not more, because you're not talking to mystical monsters, you're talking to real people. But that didn't happen in Frontier. JP and Zoe, they get development, but they still feel the same. It's unfortunate because I like these characters, except for Koichi? I don't know. The guy, the Sixth Ranger type of dude, the one that transforms into the Dark Digimon. He was so wasted. He does nothing. They could take him out of the story completely. Nothing would happen. They can give those two evolutions to Takuya or Koji, and it would be completely the same. Nothing would be any different if he was out of the story. He's wasted. He's just there. There's nothing. He does nothing for the team. Maybe you could say he transforms to whoever the last evolution was. I forgot. But he's not a good character. I like him. I want to like him, but I can't because he has no development. He's just there. He's a background character that is trying to be a main character and it's just not working. But Frontier, I think overall it's okay. They tried to do something different and it wasn't successful. But I still think it was cool. I love Trailmon. I love the whole beast versus humanoid Digimon type of thing. The beast versus the humanoid, which is weird because there's humanoid Digimon like Angelomon. There's Sakuyamon. Yeah, the female is the only one that comes to mind. I know, I'm weird, but jokes aside, the whole human versus beast thing was cool. I loved. I mean, we got the backstory 5 or 6 times, but I still think it was solid. As I said, there was something there, which other seasons don't have. I feel like I should swap around Try in Frontier, because Frontier, it tries to be something that it's not. It tries to be a superhero show, which it's not. Let's be real. It tries to be a tokusatsu show, and it fails at it. But Try, actually, I'm going to do this. Try, it tried. That's for sure. But there's a lot of issues with Try. Let me start with Mako. Mako, I love Mako. Oh, actually, okay, take that back. I kind of like Mako. The only thing I like about her is her aesthetics. That's it. And also, the part in the movie where she's from the South and did that terrible accent. I live in the South, and I guarantee, that's how people talk, but it's not that bad. But I could somehow relate. I'm that is Son of a Girl at the max. But jokes aside, she was just an okay character. She added nothing. As I said, the other character from Frontier, I forgot his name, but added nothing to the story except the fact that her Digimon Mikumon, which actually I really like Mikumon. It was the big bad of the story. That's it. She could have just been a background character, and it wouldn't have changed anything. And I know this is the big thing people talk about, but the O2 kids are not in it, and I think that's a serious issue that a lot of people just make fun of now. If they want a story that's just focusing on the original 8, okay, understandable. That's okay. I mean, I will accept that. I think you can't ignore major characters that are considered successors to the original characters, especially because they have the stronger Digimon. I don't know. But the thing is, my problem is they completely ignore the O2 kids. Very sorry about that. I was interrupted, and I kind of lost my entire thought train, but I am back, and I remember what I was going to say. if they want to do a story without the O2 kids, that is understandable. Focusing on the original 8, because I feel their characters have more room to grow. But there's a problem with that. The way it's treated, it's so terrible. They just completely forget that they exist. They're killed off. We don't even see their faces. We never saw what they looked like in Tri's designs. Never. Ever. They just die off screen, and then later it's revealed, it spoils by the way, that they've been kept underground somewhere. I forgot. I don't care anymore. But you can't ignore major character. It's like making a new Dragon Ball series and like excluding Vegeta because he came in Dragon Ball Z and they wanted to be like the original Dragon Ball. It's ridiculous. It's honestly kind of jarring a little bit because, one, they don't even care. They're their best friends. They grow bonds with each other. Tai and Davis, they're friends. All of them are friends. TK and Kari go to school with these characters, and it's only mentioned like once. Where are they? Like, they only ask once. That should be the goal of the story, is to find their friends. And then when they defeat the doppelganger of Ken, they celebrate. That should have been a battle where they were deciding if they should fight or not. They should be arguing with themselves. But no, they just fought like it was nothing. They were fighting Pilgrimon, the fighter, not the fighter mode, the beast mode, without any regret. Like, it just nothing there. They don't care for their friends that are missing. And then when they find it, Tai just kind of goes, oh, they're here, okay. And then towards the end is like, oh yeah, they recovered well. Yeah, they recovered well and they're doing good now. It's ridiculous. And the other characters, they get little to no development. It's really jarring when you see characters having fun, while there's something clearly going on they should solve. Tamers, on the other hand, did this much better, where there's fun moments in between the bad parts, not while the bad parts are going on. And there's some plot points that never got solved, like Izzy having a crush on Mimi, which, where did that go? Maybe the last evolution they get together. I don't think that in the 2 they got together. I mean, I don't know. Actually, I should probably check that, but as right now, I don't think they did. But that went nowhere. Little, like, subplots went nowhere. There was no B plot, and the B plot that was there never got solved. And it's so frustrating. The fight scenes are cool, and that's it. The evolutions are horrible. I love the look. The look is cool. The evolutions are cool, but not when they play back to back to back. You have one evolution scene that's 30 seconds. You have another that's 30 seconds. You have another that's like a minute, and then the final one. All of those play right after each other. That is 4 whole minutes of nothing. Of just evolution. And like, some people think the evolutions were in the way of the like original core shows, but I cannot disagree more. You have not seen Tri. There is serious moments that they're fighting, and then all of a sudden Tenomon, I want to help, and then he's like, okay, and then it just goes through, and it's like, okay guys, warp evolution exists for a reason. And the other reason of seasons like Tamers, they sped up the evolutions when they're, because they had to get from their base to this. So they just go there. They don't play all the other that is ridiculous. Like, Tri is not good. It's fun if you don't think about it. Now I'm torn because I point out all the problems Tri has, and I want to put it above because I think I enjoyed Frontier a bit more, but Frontier has a lot of problems that's holding it back. Okay, plan. There we go. I think that is kind of fair, because you have the amazing tier, the great, the okay, going to mediocre, kind of not good, and just flat out bad. Now explain these guys. Now let me get to the other two. Oh boy, let's start with Savers. Savers, it tried to be edgy. It tried to be cool. And it tried to win back all Digimon fans that grew up out of Digimon. And it doesn't, Savers is a boring show. And when a show bores me is when there's a problem. Now, I can have a show that I'm bored watching, but there's stuff going on and I'm kind of interested. This is it's filler. It's filler. There's unsolved plot points and plot points that don't make any sense. Like that one kid, I don't even remember his name, but like he was living with the Digimon, which can speak perfect Japanese or English, whichever one you're watching. Why is he talking the way he talks? That does not make sense. He lives with Almond. I think Almond? I'm calling him Almond. I think I'm wrong on that. He's living with the Digimon that talks perfect English, but you have a guy that talks like he's a caveman. How? What? And there's like Marcus's dad. Like, who cares? We're interested for 5 minutes, and then they just ignore it for episodes, and I just not interested anymore. It's not edgy. It's certainly not cool. There's no plot. It tries to be Tamers all over again, which is real world. That is not what Tamers I mean, it's definitely helped Tamers. Being in the real world made it feel real, but it's not the sole reason why we love it. It tried to make Tamers to try to make an edgy version of Tamers while also having elements from the original, and it didn't work. It just doesn't. Good stuff though. Music is good. Evolutions are cool, and I kind of like Almond, but not really. Rosemon's in it, which is cool. The show is bad. It's probably my least favorite because there's stuff I like about Crosswords. There's stuff I like for the young hunters who left through time, which is not on this tier list this guy made, but I do consider it its own thing, even though it's technically not, so I understand why he didn't make a separate thing for it. But Sabers is the single worst Digimon-related media ever. It's bad. It's unwatchable, especially the dub. The dub is way unwatchable, but that's not... The Japanese version is still equally as unwatchable. It's bad. It's not funny. It's just bad. It's all I can say about it. It's bad. It's not even so bad. It's fun. It's just, if anyone likes Sabers, more power to you. I'm completely happy you can enjoy something that is terrible. I'm sorry to put it this way, but it's objectively bad. It's such a bad show. But Crosswords. You know, it's really sad because Crosswords had a lot of potential, and it's really fillery. The only character that has somewhat Jeremy? Like, the other two characters, when a show is so forgettable that I watched it only last year, and I'm already forgetting the character, that's a problem. I can go back and remember characters from Kamen Rider Gaim. I can go back and remember characters from the original Pokemon. Okay, that's kind of obvious. But, I don't remember anything. The only thing I kind of like is the way they transform. I think the music in Crosswords is phenomenal. Probably some of the best in the entire series. And it has cool stuff. Shoutmon X7 Superior Mode is lazy and dumb. But the show isn't so bad it makes my head spin. But it's honestly something you can't really say. You can say how stuff happened and what's going on, but it's a gathering show. They collect the code crowns and go to the separate thing and whatever. There's 3 teams, and eventually, like, 2 guys, like, they combine in one team. And it doesn't help that Shoutmon is one of the most unlikable Digimon ever. I can't say a lot about it. Just, it's so boring and bad. Animation is... I want to say the animation's good, but there's times where it's just so terrible that I can't even... I mean, it did the worst ratings for a reason, and actually I think the toys sold well from what I heard, which is interesting to say the least, but that's another problem. It's a living, breathing toy commercial. Sure, you can tell they wanted to sell toys in the other seasons, but it still felt like it worked within that world. But in Crosswords, like, they have, like, screw holes in them. They look like they can articulate, like, Ballistamon? Like, no. Like, the robot guy. He looks like a freaking toy. Especially, the Garurumon guy. I forgot the name, but I do like, that was a good character, I feel. Cutemon, I'm not even going to begin. I'm not even going to begin on that. And also, I hate the cross-loader. I hate it. But I liked what it did, but Fusion does not feel like it's a... It doesn't feel like they're actually fusing. It feels like it's evolutions. Like Shoutmon X2X. I like that system, and I like the name, but I think it would have been better if they made different names for it. Because I love the designs, especially for X3. X3, well, X4, since it's the same thing with the sword. Okay, I'm going with X4. I love the design of Shoutmon X4, and to a certain extent, Superior Mode. I'll talk about Superior Mode in a different video. I have way mixed feelings. I think the design is terrible. It looks like a... hey, that goes back to the toy theory. It looks like a Power Ranger Super Sentai final mech of a cluster of all the toys. It's forcing down your throat that it wants you to buy the toys. And it's just bad, guys. It's a bad show. But I do have a lot of positive things to say about Young Hunter that cross time. I hate Gumdramon. Gumdramon is my single least favorite main partner Digimon this season. His design's so... I feel like they stitched things from the other seasons together to make him. But his evolution's cool. I'll admit that. And I also love the evolutions. I like they made a fun show out of a show that was just fundamentally not good. And for that I actually kind of respect the Young Hunters that left through time, which, yes, the same guy that worked on the Girl Left. That anime movie, it's the same thing. Well, not the same thing, but it's the same writer. Not right. Either some guy that worked on that. So that's why the name is what it is. But it's okay. The best episode of Cross Wars / the Young Hunter, Cross Hunters is the one where all of them cross over, despite them living in separate worlds. That was such a good episode that it almost made the entire series worth it in general. That episode kicked so much butthole. It was so good, not just from a nostalgic point of view, just because it was so good. The music, the way, the evolution, so good. Like they didn't make the characters from Cross Wars in front. All of them got spotlight, which is awesome. And also hearing Takano again makes me jump in the sky. But I think that's about it. I said everything I wanted to say about it. But yeah, guys, that is my tier list for the Digimon franchise. And unfortunately, the better half is just not good. I will say, I have a lot of hopes for the last evolution. I do plan on making a Nerd Cave news, even though it's not news anymore. Even though the O2 kids are coming back, and I'm ecstatic. They know. See, I'm glad they're learning from their mistake. Okay, I'm not going to talk about but I'm excited for Last Evolution. I feel like the Digimon franchise could work in this modern day. Also, Atmon's not here. Okay, I completely forgot about Atmon. If I had to place it, it would be one of these two, because it's not good. It's just okay at best. It did nothing for the franchise and tried to relaunch Digimon and just kind of made it go down, be the worst one. Interesting. It's still not good. I like Gotchmon, but that's it. They tried something new and it didn't work. But Atmon, it is technically Digimon, and then Atmon are technically Digimon, even though they're a different branch of Digimon. But yeah, guy, you should add Atmon. It's probably before Atmon came out, but that was my tier list. And if you guys agree, put in the comment section. I mean, even if you think Savers is good, God help if you do. Actually, I have a friend. Well, friend, I don't know if he's my friend, but I consider him a friend. Digimon Images, like, that's on Instagram. That's his favorite season. I don't know how, but it's his favorite. Okay. If you enjoy Savers, good. I'm not judging anyone. I mean, if they say try as their favorite, then I'll have a little problem. But, I'm not going to judge anyone. I would like a explanation. Like, we can have it. Let's not argue. Let's discuss. I would rather discuss our opinions than argue about it. And it's really easy for a discussion to turn to an argument. So if you guys want to discuss your favorite season in the comments, be respectful. I'll be reading all of it, so I'll know if you guys are starting an argument. But hope you agree. Hope you disagree. You know, I love discussions. Let's talk. But with that being said, Nick and Circuit signing out. See you guys in the next one.